It's time for another edition of Around the Mesa, presented by MRC. John Schaefer with you for GoAztecs.com, and joined today by Mark Martinez, head baseball coach here at San Diego State. Coach, it's great to have you back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's kind of dealing with a lot of different things, obviously, with COVID and then, our national unrest and stuff like that. But at home here, we've been kind of doing the same thing for the last 3 months and getting used to Zoom calls and trying to change up the routine and trying to figure it out every day. So that's kind of what we've been doing. And I don't know if we have it on lockdown, but we're trying to keep it fresh and keep our family moving in the right direction.
What type of impact do you expect the Major League Baseball draft to have on your program? Certainly we've heard about Casey Schmidt, hopefully getting drafted next week. And what overall impact do you expect next week from the shortened draft?
Man, I think Casey's probably one of those guys that's a lock to get drafted. I don't know what's going to happen after that. I think we have a lot of guys in our program right now that they're in position to sign free agent, a signing after the draft. And that's a wide range of guys. There's some seniors, some juniors that are getting some attention. I think that'll have some impact if those guys end up signing. We have a couple incoming freshmen that are getting a lot of attention professionally. I think that the quirkiness of the draft this year is, the 5 rounds. They're not playing minor league baseball. I think there's a lot that goes into it. And so those higher profile, kids and prospects might forego the draft this year to see what happens next year, and that could even be Casey Schmidt. You just don't know. I think he's in position to be drafted really high, and so I think that would warrant a signing. But at the same time, there's a lot of things, variables that go into what's happening with the draft this year, and so we don't know. And so right now we're prepared to kind of handle either way, and obviously if we have some of these guys back or all of them back, we're going to have a really, really good team. And if we lose some of those guys, our incoming class is one of the top in the country. So we're very excited about that as well.
What have scouts told you about Casey, and how do they project him? Is he going to be a pitcher at the next level? Will he be a position player, or is that still to be determined?
Well, what I tell the scouts that call me, I said, listen, for me, I'm a very biased onlooker. I think he's an exceptional baseball player. He's an exceptional hitter. Obviously, we hand the ball to him in big moments, at the back end of games. And so he does, that at a very high level in our program. And so I tell our scouts to come talk to me. I said, that's up to you guys to decide. I'm not going to make that decision for you. And I think what I see is going to happen with Casey will be he'll start as a hitter. And I think he's a big leaguer in both areas. And if somewhere along the line in the minor leagues that falters for some reason, he's a high-end pitcher as well. And I think for me, he's a fast-track guy into the big leagues, and whether it's pitching or hitting. So, that's up for them to decide. But I think he'll start as a hitter, rightfully so, and then probably still have that training as a pitcher going through the minor leagues, maybe throwing bullpens, arm care, those kinds of things. And then when that does hit, maybe it's a fall league, they'll stick him into closed games or something down the road, or it's an instructional ball situation where he might get an opportunity to kind of show what he can do on the mound. But for me, he's a guy that's close to the big leagues talent-wise. How he manages that mentally and physically is kind of up to him, but talent-wise, he's as close to the big leagues as we've had it on the Mesa here in a while.
Coach, as you know, a lot of changes are coming to college baseball in 2021. In the Mountain West, there will be an elimination, at least for a year, of the conference tournament. What's your reaction to the elimination of the conference tournament, and how does that impact San Diego State and the rest of the league?
Well, I think for me, it's a little bit of a shame to lose out on that opportunity. We talk about, opportunities for student athletes, but I also understand why those decisions are being made, and I've leaned on our leadership, during, these times of decision. And even though some of those decisions are hard, we have to understand it, and we have to, not react to it. We respond to it the right way. I want to have the conference tournament, but at the same time, we understand that we have to win a outright league title. We haven't done that in a long, long time, and so it forces our hand. So I think it's a challenge for our baseball team in a positive way. And we can use that as motivation and say, listen, we haven't won a regular season title in a long time. I don't know when the last time it was, but it might have been 2004. So it's time for us to win a regular season title, get that AQ, moving into a regional. So that's the positive part of it. The negative part is, miss out on some opportunities. And the last time we hosted the conference tournament here at Sdsu State, unbelievable atmosphere throughout the entire tournament. And, of course, we were winning, so it helped people come to the yard and those kinds of things. But it was a great environment. That's why we got it back for this year. And hopefully, after the 21 season, we can host another tournament, in 22 and beyond.
What other impacts do you expect next season? I believe the expectations are of a shorter season to some extent among college baseball programs. So how will a shortened calendar impact your program in the non-conference?
Well, we're fortunate, in Sdsu State. We can schedule a lot of local competitions without really having an impact on our budget. So, right now we're fully, loaded with games, and if we have to pull back a couple, then we'll do that. Again, we'll lean on our leadership, JD, Chuck Lang, and kind of figuring out where those deletions might happen. But I think we're going to be in a very comfortable situation playing either all 56 or somewhere between 50 and 56 coming in into next year. Again, Sdsu State's in a very advantageous position. First and foremost, it's an unbelievable city. We live in paradise. And we're also in a place where we can play locally. We can play some really great programs, and they're drivable. And that's all the way up to, even Santa Barbara or Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, and all the schools in between. And so we're kind of mapping out our schedule kind of like that. So we're going to have a very California-based schedule for 1 year, but at the same time, the competition we're playing is pretty vicious. And so I don't know if we're doing ourselves any favor, scheduling all those teams in Southern California, but at the same time, it's something we have to do with dealing with COVID-19. And again, our leadership has done a great job kind of directing us in the way we want to go.
I think a lot of people thought that your program was headed back to the NCAA tournament this year in 2020. Maybe challenging in a regional as well. How do you feel about 2021? I think you said a few weeks ago on GoAztecs.com, you felt like you had a chance really to put together almost like a super team if you get some of these guys back. So does 2021 feel as good as 2020 to you?
Well, absolutely. Again, we're kind of coming back with a fully loaded barrel, so to speak, and so and then we're adding some really dynamic pieces to that with our incoming class. So, it was a shame to kind of lose out on a really good start to the season. We went to two very hostile environments and did very, very well. We should have come away with a victory on Sunday at Oklahoma, and we found a way to lose that one and grab a loss out of the jaws of victory, so to speak. And so, I think it really built some confidence for the group that's here on campus right now. They know we can compete nationally, and I think we're getting national attention as well. We're starting to get a little buzz, national 20 or 25, top 25 nationally, and so hopefully moving into next year, we kind of hold that and hold serve, so to speak, and go out and kind of make some noise on a national scale.
Coach, appreciate your time today. Stay safe and healthy, and we look forward to catching up later this summer and fall as we get ready for baseball in 2021. Thank you as always.
Thank you very much. Can't wait for baseball to get back. Go sit at Petco Park. Hopefully grab a hot dog and a cold beverage and watch some baseball. And looking forward to our players coming back in the fall, ready to go compete. To go play in Omaha. So thank you very much.